Welcome back to Toy Chat. It is Sing.
Autumn.
And Max.
And today we will be reviewing the brand new Welcome to Monster High Moanica D'Kay and Draculaura 2-pack. I think the actual name for this one is Monstrous Rivals.
Does it have a name? Yeah,
yes.
Monstrous Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Monster High, Monstrous Rivals. Tell me about it.
So we're going to be doing an in-depth review of these new ghouls, and this is the first new Monster High character commercially available. This 2-pack is available now on Amazon.com. We'll put the link to purchase in the description as always. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Sums up Autumn's feelings about it.
Alright, so this is what Moanica and Draculaura look like in box. Monster High has redesigned the box again for their new release. The logo is still the same. It's still the same font. The skullet is still the same.
Apparently this is still part of the Welcome to Monster High line.
So the Welcome to Monster High packaging, it's pretty packaging. It's kind of like
Are you serious though? I mean, look how like crooked it is. You can kind of look at those circles in the background. Like, why is it so wonky? It's not even in like a cute coffin shape. It's just like, well, we don't feel like making a perfect rectangle, so here you go.
Yeah, well, these are the new, like, you know, Barbie style boxes where there's nothing in there except the doll, basically. So speaking of which, yeah.
So why is there so much wasted cardboard and plastic?
Yeah, so if you saw our previous video, the Nina Thunbell review, it seems like Monster High is kind of falling into the same territory of like really simple, stripped down boxes, you know, where you kind of just have to, you know, the box is essentially like there's not really much to the box.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about Monster High and Ever After High boxes in the past is their boxes are reusable. You can actually store dolls in them if you like. But yeah, it looks like their stance on packaging sounds like a more disposable. Rip and tear, get to the packaging inside.
Which, yeah, it's you can't really keep backdrops anymore. You literally have to like tear these boxes apart to get the dolls out. I mean, I appreciate the little. I think the portion of it that I do like is like, yeah, the little glittery side packaging and compartment. I mean, I guess like I kind of appreciate, you know, they had like the little side, you know, photos and all that.
See how long those last.
Yeah.
I'm very curious on finding out why Draculaura and Moanica are packaged together. You know, from the movie clips, they seem like they're really not in a situation where they will be
Like rivals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In general, I mean, you know, we can get into that a little deeper later, but I'm a little thrown off as to like why it's necessary for this to be a 2-pack.
So this is the back of the box. We definitely get to see a little bit of the story that's going to be featured in the new movie, Welcome to Monster High. Unlike previous character boxes, we don't get a description or a little bit info on the characters themselves.
No diary.
No diary.
Yes, and of course, yeah, once again, this release, neither of them have stands. You know, it's even like moving forward, that's just not a thing we're going to get at all. Something that's kind of interesting too, there's just like photos of the dolls, which I mean, you know, some of the photos are really nice, but personally, I really love, you know, like artwork of the Monster High and Ever After High characters. But it looks like for some of these Welcome to Monster High dolls, we don't get any like artwork. It's just promo photos. So this is Moanica D'Kay out of box. She has what I honestly want to call like a grayish lavender hair color with a few lime green streaks. She has light green eyes and You know, I want to say her skin tone is different from Ghoulia's.
Don't even say her name.
No, it's totally different from
Yeah,
Ghoulia's.
it's very different. It's like a, honestly, it's like a grayer.
It's like a
like
browner,
yeah.
pukey gray.
Yeah, in that ballpark. And she is wearing little, you know, it's up to you if you want to consider them as worms or as like brains earrings, which are a reprint, FYI.
Yeah, those were Ghoulia's earrings. I
Yeah.
consider them worms.
Yeah. They were originally from a Ghoulia fashion pack, so these are not unique earrings. She is wearing a pink ribcage necklace. Her shirt is interesting. It's like supposed to be a rib cage, apparently, but it's kind of an odd like mixture of colors. The shirt is mostly like a pale yellow, and the spine portion is like green, and then some of, you know, the ribs are like
Pink and
gray and
gray.
salmon color.
I think it's cute. I like the shirt.
It's a cute pool of vomit.
It reminds me of like an egg omelet.
Yeah.
After you picked it up.
So, you know, you Monster High fans out there will be happy to know that she does come with layers. They're not all one piece. So you can actually take off her jacket, and her shirt is another
It's
piece.
vest. It's like a vest.
Yeah.
Her little, yeah, which, yeah, the vest,
Toxic spill
yeah,
design.
it's almost kind of like a, yeah, there is something very, very, like, toxic sludge about her theme. Like, she has this vest that has, you know, like, little green splotches on it. The seams are pink. You know, the vest is mostly gray. And she has a little pink brain belt which matches her necklace and her earrings. Monica's pants are pretty simple. You know, they remind me a little bit of skinny jeans. You know, they're kind of like a simple black and white splotchy pattern. They go all the way down to her ankles, and the seam of these pants is actually like a light lime green. Not a whole lot to say about the pants, you know, they're pretty simple, kind of fall in the same theme as the rest of her.
They seem a little bit short if you remove her shoes. They don't reach quite down to her ankles.
These are Monica's shoes. You know, she has pretty simple shoes. They have a little brain design on them. They're kind of like wedge heels, and the wedge is made up of brains. And there's laces all down the front. They are all one solid color. They're the same color as all her other accessories. Monica has a brain purse.
And it has a slit in the middle across the corpus callosum, which it looks like you're supposed to be able to open it, but you really can't. I'm putting a decent amount of pressure on it, and it's like you can kind of slit it open, but I wouldn't count on being able to get anything in. On her purse arm, she also has this little pink bracelet in the shape of a rib cage. It almost looks like a heart, but no, it's bones. Yeah.
So now we have the Draculaura from this 2-pack. She has her standard black hair with some pink streaks throughout. This particular Draculaura doesn't really have a ton of pink in her hair. It's primarily from the front. It's mainly just visible in her bangs. She is wearing a little bit of blue eyeshadow. Of course, she has her signature heart. She's wearing pretty cute earrings. They are tiny little blue hearts.
Stringed beads, I suppose.
Yeah, there's an upside down heart on the bottom. And her collar is a little bit of,
Mesh.
yeah, some nice little netting.
So Draculaura and Moanica both have blush on their faces. They are a light pink. Unlike the Monster High past dolls as well as Ever After High, these blush with like their stickers imprinted on the face. They're kind of like they're like big circles that they just like stamped on.
And if you look closely, you can see the outline of the blush, so it's not really blended in. To me, it's like not very noticeable, but if you point it out, you're like, oh yeah, I can see that. So
Yeah, I think it's just because Draculaura's skin's pink, but it's a lot more noticeable on Moanica than it is on her. It is true though, when you take a closer look, it's different from the previous releases where it doesn't really look like it was, you know, like airbrushed on. It looks, as like Sang said, it's kind of just like a circular like imprint.
So for Draculaura's outfit, it's this cute summer dress looking thing with a mesh collar, and it's a pattern of black bats with blue outlines against a pink backdrop. If you don't pay attention, it just looks like a swirl of like tie-dye stuff, but yeah. It's mid-thigh length and is accented well with this cute heart/bat-shaped blue belt.
What's really cute about the belt is the fact that it's like a little heart that has fangs at the top of the inner corners, which I think is pretty cute.
I like belts that kind of have a third dimension that way. I like that they decided to cut out the hole in the middle.
Yeah.
It's more unique that way.
Yeah, and this outfit definitely needs a belt. So
Yeah, to cut away through all that crazy pattern. She also has a little bracelet here, which appears to be...
it's like a broken heart. Oh, it's a broken heart.
Yeah, it's a broken heart. It's like got two sides to it. One, it's really hard to capture the detail, but one side of the heart is normal, and the other side of the heart is like textured, like all bubbly and stuff. I wonder if it has something to do with the theme of the dance, because we still don't know much about.
Or she's brokenhearted because Claude isn't here.
There you go.
But what if Claude doesn't exist?
It's a conversation for another video. God.
And so at the bottom, she has these cute mid-calf boots with winged heart bats as like the buttons, I suppose, or the notches. And
Little wings on the side.
you know, a wing decal for the heels. I like them. Draculaura doesn't get big old boots super often, at least not in all black, so I appreciate that.
I wish there was a little bit of color to them.
I don't, but
I do. I think they look like they're black, and it's hard to point out the details to it, but there is a lot of like things done to it, like a lot of like molded details, but just still too black for me.
it's black like my soul.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
I agree with saying I feel like these are boots that would look cool in real life, but yeah, on a doll, they're still cool. It's a fitting design, but yeah, there's just something too like solid color about them.
They were kind of blending in with the stand.
Yeah.
No, the reason.
You know what? They're cute, and I like them just the way they are. Painted all in black.
Get
the
a lot
best.
of complimenting this release.
One half of this release. The cute half. And to finish her look, she has this bubblegum pink little handbag with vampire fang clasps and wing decal and a bat handle. Pretty cute.
Yeah.
Could maybe use like some black or something
Yeah.
to balance out the pink.
It's
But
your run-of-the-mill Draculaura accessory.
I like that it's so small though, because sometimes I feel like a lot of Monster High bags can be very clunky. So I like the little handbag, because that's kind of what I would use.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's a different plastic than the rest of her.
Oh yeah, it's like a bit softer.
Yeah, definitely. Also, you know, the plastic they use for her is blue. So the bag is a different pink. So I like it.
Okay, and these are our final thoughts on the Monstrous Rivals 2-pack.
Boo. Not down for this. But we can get into that in a moment. Maybe I'll be final thoughts.
So, you know, my opinion on this whole thing, kind of observing Draculaura a little more closely. Draculaura is actually a little cuter than I was expecting. You know, when I first saw promo images of her, and just my first impression of her was that she was just very bland and simple, and I didn't really understand why this was being sold as a 2-pack, considering it's one of, like, you know, the primary new Monster High characters for the movie, and wasn't really getting why, you know, obviously, supposedly Moanica is going to be made available by herself.
This exact print of her?
I believe so,
Oh,
yes.
I think it's just a way to make money.
Yeah.
Because people want to buy new characters.
You have to realize she does come standalone as well, so you don't have
But
to get Draculaura.
Is she available
I mean, is she available
yet?
right now? I'm assuming she's not available yet.
She's found in other countries, but in the US right now it's just this.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, technically, too, we don't know if, like, her standalone release is, like, an international exclusive or something like that, because that happens a lot with toys, too. Like, sometimes... Moanica, in and of herself, you know, bits and pieces of her are kind of cute. I always appreciate when on the zombie characters they have, you know, kind of, like, gory accessories and that kind of thing. I do think it's on theme. But... I think a big part of the issue is if you strip Moanica of those brain accessories, she doesn't really remind me of a zombie, like, at all. You know, she almost strikes me as more of like a, I don't know why, like a poison, like, sludge girl.
She reminds me like
that.
hazardous,
Yeah.
like, chemical monster.
Well, I think that's how she was turned into a zombie, is biohazardous material.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm inferring that from her Monster High Mini, where her eyeballs have the biohazard symbol.
I think the biggest issue I have with Moanica is actually her face. I can kind of appreciate the fact that they're trying to introduce this really sassy, snarky zombie character, but I don't know, there's something about the proportions of her face that really throws me off. Like, I feel like her eyes are kind of small in comparison to, like, her kind of pouty lips, and the blush, I think that's the thing too that makes me not think zombie, is I think her blush is actually kind of overstated. I think, you know, if she's supposed to be this undead creature, I understand, you know, they want to have that makeup look, of course, for Monster High dolls, but I think it almost puts too much, like, life into her face, in my opinion, considering she's supposed to be a zombie, which is something I think they did a pretty good job of with Ghoulia in terms of, you know, her skin tone and how she looks.
Alright, so I have the unpopular opinion in the room right now. I think Moanica is quite nice. You know, I always love the lavender color in hair. Also, I think she has a very unique face. I like the contrast on, like, the pale, almost like, I guess, brownish skin with, like, the bright, like, neon eyes. I think it's very pretty, and she has kind of like that unique expression. She's kind of looking off to the side and kind of, like, menacing. So I think as a villain, she's pretty cool and pretty accurate to the character on the show. While I agree that she kind of has kind of lackluster accessories in terms of color, they're all just pink, like, top to bottom. All her plastic accessories are just a bright pink.
I will give that her pink accessories do pop out against her very muddy appearance. So at least that was a good decision.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I agree with Max, you know, I like when Monster High makes more of an effort to incorporate monster themes in their accessories. You know, it's definitely more gory and interesting.
Well, yeah, but these accessories and ideas are stolen. They're stolen from somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't appreciate where she comes from, like, her background, But yeah, I mean, as a doll herself, she does really pop on the shelf. I think like in the box, she really has a presence in the 2-pack. I think it's a little strange. She's kind of wearing like jeans and a t-shirt compared to Draculaura, who's kind of wearing a dress. So it's like a weird 2-pack. I don't know why Draculaura's there. She should be wearing like, you know, something similar.
Does Moanica have a future release where she's wearing a dress to whatever this dance is?
Yeah, she has the party scene outfit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a weird 2-pack when Dracula is already dressed for the event, and Monica's just there in her street clothes. But
yeah, yet another reason this didn't need to be a 2-pack.
Yeah, or at least if it was, I wish they had coordinated like their outfits together. In terms of Draculaura, I think she's a little basic for me, but she is a very cute doll. You know, if you're interested in a fully functional jointed Draculaura right now, there's really only 2 options for you. So I think if you don't like her basic doll that's not officially available yet, I mean, this is a good alternative. It looks like she is sporting the pink and blue color scheme now. I don't know. I haven't seen her.
I think that's her color scheme now.
Yeah, she doesn't really
instead of like yellow and.
Yeah, I like the pink and yellow better for Draculaura, but.
Yeah, I mean, I would say overall, I mean, obviously the new reboot signature Draculaura isn't commercially available yet. I would say if you had to pick for the two, between the two, for sure, I think this Draculaura pales in comparison to the new reboot Draculaura, you know, that we reviewed previously. It was actually pretty adorable. Yeah, I agree with saying this. You know, this Draculaura is pretty cute. She's just, you know, very simple.
Their new faces are definitely growing on me. I think I appreciate the big, cuter eyes. But it's definitely something to get used to. Do I recommend this 2-pack? I would. You know, this is probably the cheapest 2-pack I've seen on the market so far as their standard price. $24.99 is a decent price for a 2-pack. Normally, like, they're at least $30 or $35. But it's a justifiable price considering they don't come with stands. They don't really come with too much detail.
That goose item.
This is a travesty. I'm sorry. This is just all terrible. I mean, as you guys might have picked up, I'm not super happy with Moanica D'Kay. I don't know. Mattel said they're not getting rid of any of their original characters. But, like, how are we supposed to believe that when Ghoulia is not even in one piece of the new advertisements or lineups or anything? Not even in the Monster High minis, which is just a throwaway, easy way they could have shoved her in. But no, total disrespect. Like, she is an original ghoul of the original 6. Like, they couldn't have just even
only one of the original 6 who hasn't, appeared at all.
Couldn't even give us, like, a press release saying she's done. I don't know, maybe she's gonna make some weird triumphant return. I don't know. I don't care for this girl as a replacement.
Well, your comparisons aside, do you think Moanica is worth her price? Is she a doll that someone who are interested in Monster High should purchase?
No, I don't think I would get this 2-pack because Draculaura, she's cute, she's decent. I wouldn't call her like a super good like deluxe party dress Draculaura in any way. So like why pay the extra $10 for that to have that Draculaura included when you could just wait for the singular release of Moanica?
Yeah, I mean, Autumn brings up a very valid concern in that it was nice to hear, that supposedly none of these new characters who are very similar to pre-existing characters or seem inspired by something extremely similar to existing characters, that they're not intended as replacements, but it's still unsettling to see that we already know that there are upcoming releases for these new, kind of like, for lack of a better word, like knockoff characters like Moanica and Ari. There's like 3 different versions of Ari coming out. There's at least 2 Moanicas coming, and yet we've still heard nothing about Spectra or Ghoulia.
Seriously.
So it is a little bit, I don't know, it does still give me the impression that this is just flat out the new zombie character and the new ghost character, basically. But who knows? We have a very hardcore Ghoulia supporter here at Toy Chat, which I can empathize with it because I'm feeling similarly concerned, you know, about the Spectra versus Ari situation, because I love Spectra, and
Ari does not.
Ari is not inspiring a whole lot in me as of late, but but you know, I mean, I would say, comparisons completely aside, if I looked at this as purely a standalone doll and didn't have any paranoia of replacements or anything like that in mind, I think, my opinion, this is still not a 2-pack I would rush out to buy immediately. Monica's interesting. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't really like her shirt. Like Autumn said, it's just kind of an odd color scheme, and there's just certain things about it that don't really make me think of zombies. I will probably pick up Moanica, you know, like when she's on sale. But I mean, like Sang said, it is true, that's a pretty reasonable price point for a 2-pack.
Just uninspired and unnecessary, and I'm not having it. I'm not gonna get her until I know whether or not Ghoulia is alive and well with us.
Undead.
Undead and well.
Undead and well.
Well, thank you for joining us for our review of the Monstrous Rivals 2-pack and the first release of Moanica D'Kay. Let us know what you think of this new ghoul and her 2-pack partner in the comments, and let us know what you'd like us to review next, and we will see you next time.